This is not a video for boys who are still chasing validation. It is not for men who believe love should save them, fix them, or complete them. This is for the man who has lived long enough to be disappointed. By promises, by emotions, and sometimes by himself. Because love, when misunderstood, does not elevate a man. It weakens him. Most men are taught how to pursue, impress, and please. But almost no one teaches them how to remain whole while loving. What you are about to hear are not romantic theories. They are truths earned through loss, silence, and hard decisions. Truths that men usually learn too late. After they have given too much, explained too much, and lost parts of themselves in the process. If you are looking for emotional comfort, this video will disappoint you. But if you are looking for clarity, strength, and self-respect, stay. Because these 5 truths will not make love easier. They will make you stronger. Welcome to the channel, Stoic Love Wisdom. This is where lessons about love will help you better understand this complex emotion. In today's video, we will learn together about 5 truths about love that mature men always know. These are things that can change the way you perceive love in life. Be prepared because the secrets and insights you are about to discover may make you look back at yourself and the relationships around you. Before starting, find a quiet space, put on your headphones and relax. Let your mind completely immerse in these shares and enjoy every wonderful moment. Are you ready to discover new things about love? Let's start this journey with us right now. Truth number 1, love is not a man's first priority. It is the reward for a life well lived. When a man is young, he believes love should save him. He believes the right woman will give his life meaning, direction, and strength. I believed that once too. But years, losses, and silence taught me a different truth. Love does not build a man. A man builds himself, and love follows. A mature man understands something painful but liberating. If love becomes the center of your life collapses the moment love leaves. That is why grown men do not place love at the top of their hierarchy. Not because love is unimportant, but because it is too important to be used as a crutch. A man without purpose will cling to love. A man with purpose will attract it. This is not philosophy. This is observation. I've seen men lose themselves trying to be loved. Abandoning their principles, reshaping their identity, tolerating disrespect. All because they made love their oxygen. And I've seen other men live with discipline, direction, and inner order. Men who didn't chase affection, validation, or approval. Yet somehow, love found them. Not because they tried harder, but because they stood firmer. A stoic man does not wake up asking, "How can I keep her?" He wakes up asking, "How can I honor my values today?" He understands that attraction is not negotiated. It emerges naturally when a man is grounded in who he is and where he is going. Love, in its healthiest form, is not a rescue mission. It is a byproduct. When you build a life you respect, a body you discipline, a mind you sharpen, a code you refuse to break, you stop needing love to complete you. And that is precisely when love becomes possible. Because neediness repels what dependence seeks. A woman can feel when a man's happiness depends on her presence. She may enjoy the power at first. But deep down, it unsettles her. Why? Because instinctively, she knows. If he needs her to feel whole, he will eventually resent her for carrying that weight. A mature man removes that burden. He does not ask love to give his life meaning. He brings meaning into love. This is where most men misunderstand Stoicism. Stoic love is not cold. It is contained. It does not overflow uncontrollably. It does not beg to be validated. It flows from abundance, not lack. A Stoic man loves deeply. But he does not abandon himself in the process. He understands impermanence. He knows that people can change. Feelings can fade. Circumstances can turn. So he does not attach his identity to something he cannot control. He commits fully. But he remains rooted. This is strength, not detachment. When love becomes your primary goal, you begin to bargain with your soul. You tolerate what you shouldn't. You explain what doesn't need explanation. You chase clarity instead of standing in truth. But when love is a reward, not a pursuit, you choose differently. You speak honestly. You walk away calmly. You don't threaten, manipulate, or plead. Because your life does not collapse without her. And paradoxically, that stability makes love safer and deeper. A woman does not fall in love with a man who needs her to survive. She falls in love with a man who invites her into a life already standing. A man with direction doesn't rush love. He doesn't force timelines. He doesn't panic at silence. He knows who he is. And he knows where he's going. With or without anyone beside him. That confidence is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. But it is felt. And this is the final truth most men learn too late. When love is your mission, you lose yourself. When life is your mission, love finds its place. A mature man does not chase love. He becomes the kind of man love respects. And that changes everything. Love is not only about happy moments, but also about challenges that help us realize our inner strength. It is through difficulties that we learn patience, tolerance, and how to love without losing ourselves. This is also the reason why I share stories here, so that you can find calmness and wisdom in your journey of love. If you feel these words touch you, please take a second to click like to spread this message. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe with the notification bell, to always be the first to receive new shares. Don't forget to leave a comment below, share your feelings or a lesson you learned after listening to this story. Each line you share is a way for us to connect and accompany each other. Now, get ready, because the next part will bring you even deeper insights. Truth number 2, the more you try to please, the less you are respected. There is a painful lesson every man must learn on his own. No one can teach it to you. No book can soften it. Life delivers it personally. And it goes like this. The moment you try to be everything for someone, you slowly become nothing to them. When a man lacks experience, he believes love is earned through effort. Through sacrifice. Through saying yes when he wants to say no. Through bending himself into the shape he thinks she wants. I lived that phase. I thought consistency meant availability. I thought loyalty meant endurance. I thought being a good man meant never disappointing her. What I didn't realize was this. Respect does not grow from compliance. It grows from boundaries. A mature man understands a hard truth most men avoid. Trying to please is not kindness. It is fear wearing a polite mask. Fear of conflict. Fear of loss. Fear of being alone. And fear is never attractive. The Stoics spoke often about self-command. The ability to govern your actions according to reason, not emotion. In love, this matters more than anywhere else. Because when you abandon your inner authority to keep the peace, you teach the other person something dangerous. That your limits are negotiable. That your values are flexible. That your presence can be taken for granted. A woman may not consciously intend to lose respect for you. But instinct does not lie. She feels it. She senses when a man is afraid to disappoint her. When he adjusts himself too quickly. When he prioritizes harmony over honesty. And slowly, something shifts. She stops seeing him as grounded. She stops feeling safe in his strength. She may still enjoy his attention, but admiration begins to fade. This is where resentment is born, on both sides. The man resents her for not appreciating his sacrifices. The woman resents him for lacking firmness. And neither fully understands why. A Stoic man sees this pattern clearly. He does not confuse love with submission. He does not confuse patience with self-erasure. He understands that saying no is an act of self-respect. Not every request deserves agreement. Not every emotion requires reassurance. Not every conflict needs resolution in the moment. Sometimes the most loving response is calm refusal. When a man holds his ground without anger, without explanation, without fear, something powerful happens. He communicates, without words. I value myself. That message is louder than any promise. Respect grows when your actions are aligned with your values. Even when that alignment creates tension. Especially then. A mature man is willing to disappoint in order to stay honest. He knows that short-term discomfort is the price of long-term respect. He does not over-explain. He does not justify his boundaries. He does not negotiate his core principles. Because he understands a simple rule. Anything you have to beg for cannot be respected. This does not mean cruelty. It does not mean indifference. Stoic love is not harsh. It is measured. It gives, but it does not bleed itself dry. It listens, but it does not surrender its spine. A Stoic man does not ask, will this make her happy? He asks, is this aligned with who I am? If the answer is yes, he proceeds calmly. If the answer is no, he declines, peacefully. And he accepts the consequences without complaint. That acceptance is key. Because the man who fears consequences will always be controlled by them. A woman does not respect a man who agrees out of fear. She respects a man who chooses consciously. Even when the choice costs him comfort. This is the paradox of love. The more you try to secure it, the more unstable it becomes. The more you anchor yourself in self-respect, the safer love feels. A man who knows when to withdraw his energy commands more presence when he offers it. And this is the quiet truth most men discover too late. You cannot be respected and needy at the same time. Respect requires friction. It requires a man who stands firm, not rigid, but rooted. When you stop trying to please, you stop auditioning for approval. You become selective. You become deliberate. And in that stillness, respect returns. Naturally, silently, without demand. A Stoic man does not chase respect. He behaves in ways that make disrespect impossible. And that changes the entire dynamic of love. Truth number 3, real love is proven by consistent action, not promises. When a man is inexperienced, he speaks a lot. He promises. He reassures. He explains his intentions in detail. He believes that the right words, said often enough, will create trust. But experience teaches a harsher truth. Words are cheap. Consistency is rare. A mature man learns this not from philosophy, but from watching patterns repeat. He sees how easily people speak when emotions are high. How quickly vows are made in moments of desire. And how silently they are broken when discipline is required. That is why he no longer builds trust with language. He builds it with behavior. The Stoics believe that virtue is revealed through action, not intention. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are. In love, this principle is unforgiving. You can say you care. You can say you are committed. You can say you will be there. But if your actions fluctuate with mood, convenience, or comfort, your words mean nothing. A Stoic man understands this deeply. He speaks less, not because he has nothing to say, but because he knows every word creates an expectation. And unmet expectations erode trust faster than silence. So he chooses restraint. He does not promise what he cannot sustain. He does not declare what he cannot repeat tomorrow. He does not confuse intensity with reliability. Instead, he becomes predictable in the ways that matter. He shows up. He follows through. He remains steady when emotions settle. That steadiness is rare. Most men overperform at the beginning, then fade when effort is no longer fueled by novelty. A mature man does the opposite. He starts measured. He moves intentionally. He lets time do the speaking. Because he knows this truth. Trust is not built in emotional peaks. It is built in emotional neutrality. Anyone can act loving when things are easy. Character is revealed when nothing is being demanded in return. A Stoic man does not say, "I will always be here." He proves presence without announcing it. He does not say, "You can count on me." He behaves in a way that counting becomes unnecessary. This is not indifference. It is integrity. Integrity means alignment between thought, word, and action. And alignment creates safety. A woman does not trust a man because he speaks beautifully. She trusts him because his behavior does not change when the spotlight fades. Consistency signals emotional maturity. It says, "I am not driven by impulse. I am not ruled by insecurity. I do not perform affection to earn approval." A Stoic man understands the danger of empty reassurance. Too many promises create pressure. Too many explanations create doubt. Too many words create instability. Silence, when supported by action, creates calm. This is why mature men are often misunderstood at first. They may appear distant. They may seem reserved. They may not express everything they feel. But over time, something becomes clear. They are solid. And solidity is seductive in a world of volatility. A Stoic man accepts that he cannot control how his actions are interpreted. Only that they are consistent. He does not demand immediate trust. He allows it to form naturally. Because he knows. Trust forced is fragile. Trust earned is durable. He does not rush emotional intimacy. He lets patterns speak louder than promises. And when he does speak, his words carry weight. Because they are rare. And they are backed by history. This is the mark of a man who has learned restraint through consequence. He has seen how words can create attachment. And how broken attachment creates pain. So he chooses discipline over drama. A Stoic man loves through structure. Through showing up when it is inconvenient. Through consistency when excitement fades. Through restraint when ego wants recognition. And that quiet reliability creates something no promise ever could. Peace. And peace is the deepest form of attraction. This is the truth most men discover only after losing trust they thought words could save. Love does not believe what you say. It believes what you repeat. A mature man knows this. So he acts carefully. Speaks intentionally. And lets time confirm his character. At this point, you may have seen yourself in the stories above, sometimes weak, sometimes strong, and sometimes not knowing what to do in love. But it is those moments that make us real and worthy of respect. If you feel the same, please click like to let me know you are here, accompanying me. And if you haven't clicked subscribe yet, don't hesitate, because every day I will share more stories and new lessons, to help you have a calmer view of love. Now, let's move on to the final part, where we will touch on deeper things. Truth number 4, silence, used correctly, is more powerful than any explanation. Most men speak when they should be silent. They explain. They defend. They justify themselves in moments charged with emotion. They believe that clarity will save the situation. That the right words will restore balance. That being understood is more important than being grounded. Experience teaches otherwise. A mature man learns that silence is not emptiness. It is control. The Stoics understood that not every impulse deserves expression. Not every emotion deserves a response. Not every challenge requires engagement. In love, this wisdom becomes essential. When tension arises, the inexperienced man reacts. He argues to win. He speaks to be right. He explains to be validated. And in doing so, he gives away his center. A Stoic man does something different. He pauses. That pause is not avoidance. It is observation. He listens, not just to words, but to tone, energy, and intent. He understands that emotional storms pass faster when not fed. Silence, when intentional, communicates strength. It says, I am not ruled by this moment. I do not need to prove myself. I am stable even when the situation is not. This kind of silence unsettles people. Not because it is cold, but because it is unmovable. Most people expect reaction. They expect defense. They expect emotional reciprocity. When a man remains calm and quiet, he changes the dynamic. He does not escalate. He does not shrink. He remains present, without performing. This is emotional mastery. A Stoic man knows that explanations, offered too quickly, are often admissions of insecurity. When you rush to clarify, you reveal that being misunderstood frightens you. And fear weakens authority. A mature man accepts misunderstanding as temporary. He trusts that truth reveals itself through consistency. He does not need to chase perception. This does not mean he never speaks. It means he speaks only when words improve the situation. Not when they serve ego or anxiety. There is a time for dialogue. And there is a time for stillness. Wisdom is knowing the difference. In moments of conflict, silence creates space. Space for emotions to settle. Space for reflection. Space for reason to return. Most arguments are not about the issue at hand. They are about emotional overflow. A Stoic man does not wade into emotional chaos. He lets it pass. This restraint is often mistaken for indifference. It is not. It is discipline. Discipline over impulse. Discipline over pride. Discipline over the need to be right. A woman does not feel safe with a man who reacts impulsively. She feels safe with a man who can remain calm under pressure. That calm signals depth. It says, this man has been here before. He does not panic. He does not collapse under emotion. Silence also preserves dignity. Words spoken in emotional heat are difficult to retrieve. Silence leaves no scars. A Stoic man values his dignity more than momentary relief. He understands that some battles are won by not engaging. That some arguments lose power when ignored. That presence without reaction is sometimes the strongest response. This is not passive aggression. It is selective engagement. A mature man chooses where his energy goes. He does not respond to provocation. He does not mirror chaos. He does not reward emotional volatility with attention. And this creates an interesting effect. People begin to self-correct. When there is no reaction to feed on, drama starves. Clarity emerges. Respect grows. This is the silent authority of a grounded man. A Stoic man is not silent because he has nothing to say. He is silent because he understands the cost of unnecessary words. He knows that presence speaks louder than explanation. And when he finally does speak, his words land. Because they are rare. Because they are measured. Because they come from clarity, not emotion. This is the truth most men learn only after years of conflict. Silence, when chosen consciously, is not weakness. It is power under control. A mature man does not fight to be heard. He allows his composure to speak for him. And that composure changes everything. Truth number 5, the right love will never require you to abandon yourself. There is a truth that only experience can teach. And it often comes late. Sometimes after the wrong relationships. Sometimes after years of compromise. Sometimes after you no longer recognize the man in the mirror. And the truth is this. Any love that demands the destruction of your identity is not love. When a man is younger, he believes sacrifice is proof of commitment. He believes endurance equals loyalty. He believes that losing himself is the price of keeping someone. I believed that once. I confused adaptation with maturity. I confused self-erasure with devotion. And slowly, quietly, I disappeared. A mature man understands something painful but freeing. If you must shrink to be loved, you are not being loved. You are being tolerated. Stoic philosophy teaches that your character is your most valuable possession. To abandon it is to abandon everything. In love, this lesson becomes brutally clear. If being with someone requires you to silence your values, betray your instincts, constantly explain who you are, walk on emotional glass, then the cost is too high. No connection is worth inner exile. The right woman does not ask you to perform. She does not demand that you reshape your soul to fit her comfort. She may challenge you, yes. She may sharpen you, yes. But she will never ask you to betray yourself. A Stoic man watches carefully how a woman responds to his boundaries. Does she respect them? Or punish him for having them? Does she accept his independence? Or try to control it? Does she meet him where he stands? Or constantly ask him to move? These answers reveal everything. Love that is healthy does not feel like pressure. It feels like alignment. You are not guessing. You are not anxious. You are not negotiating your worth daily. You are simply being. And that is enough. A mature man understands that peace is the highest standard. Not excitement. Not obsession. Not intensity. Peace. If love brings constant confusion, it is not depth, it is imbalance. If love demands constant proof, it is not passion, it is insecurity. If love threatens your sense of self, it is not connection, it is control. The Stoics believe that suffering comes not from events, but from attachment to what is not aligned with reason. A Stoic man applies this ruthlessly in love. He does not cling to potential. He does not romanticize struggle. He does not stay where he must continuously defend his nature. He understands something most men resist. Walking away is sometimes the most self-respecting act of love. Not love for her, but love for himself. This does not mean he is closed. It means he is complete. He knows that the right relationship does not consume his life. It complements it. He does not lose his direction. He does not dilute his purpose. He does not abandon his solitude. Instead, he invites someone to walk beside him. Not ahead of him. Not above him. Not in control of him. Side by side. A woman who belongs in a mature man's life does not compete with his mission. She understands it. She does not fear his independence. She is attracted to it. She does not try to own him. She chooses him, daily, as he is. And he chooses her the same way. This is not a fairy tale. It is rare. And it requires courage. Because choosing the right love often means releasing the wrong one. Even when emotions remain. A Stoic man accepts this pain cleanly. He does not poison himself with resentment. He does not chase closure. He leaves with dignity. Because he knows this final truth. Love should refine you, not erase you. Anything that costs you your soul is too expensive. A mature man would rather walk alone in alignment than stay accompanied in self-betrayal. And when he finally loves again, he loves freely, calmly, without fear. Because he never abandoned himself to begin with. Conclusion. In the end, love is not a mystery. It is a mirror. It reflects who you are, not who you pretend to be. A man who understands these 5 truths no longer chases affection, approval, or validation. He no longer confuses intensity with depth, or attachment with meaning. He understands that love does not rescue him from himself. It reveals the work he has already done. He builds his life first. He protects his boundaries. He speaks less, acts more. He masters silence. And above all, he refuses to abandon his core for temporary comfort. This is not emotional distance. It is emotional discipline. A Stoic man does not harden his heart. He strengthens it. He allows love into his life, but he never hands it the keys to his identity. He chooses partnership, not dependence. Alignment, not sacrifice of self. When love is right, it feels calm. Not dramatic. Not consuming. Not chaotic. Calm. Because calm is the natural state of a man who is grounded in himself. If love demands that you beg, chase, explain, or disappear, it is asking for too much. And a mature man knows that the highest form of love is self-respect. So he walks his path with steadiness. He welcomes companionship, but he is not afraid of solitude. He gives freely, but never at the cost of his soul. This is the quiet power of Stoic love. Not loud. Not desperate. Not fragile. Just solid. And in a world full of noise, that solidity is rare. And deeply attractive. Thank you for watching the whole video. I hope that today's sharing about love will bring you new perspectives and help you gain valuable lessons. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and share it with your loved ones. I am very grateful for your companionship, and hope that each video will help you get closer to a happy and lasting love. See you in the next videos. Wish you a wonderful and inspired day.